Hello and welcome back to another CFD cookie with paraview. So we continue now with the previous video that we're studying how to release Streamlines and constrain that to a plane. So in the previous video we showed the basic steps, so that is the basic. So if it worked for you, stay there, but maybe you're going to encounter some problems. So I'm going to show you some tricks. So here we have exactly the same data, and let's repeat the steps. So if you're not familiar, so remember I like to use in site formats and reading. I always save it in it's my standard practice, cell-centered data, but it will be up to you. So always the first things that I do in this specific data set, I don't have the point data and I need that point data. Okay, and there are some filters that will require that. So I have here the shortcut, but this also you will have it in not your whole menu. Okay, you will have it there. Okay, so it's up to you where you access that. Let me put it here and let me pass also set data, and see here that now you have all your data in both cell center and no center. So it's up to you to pick a format. And now let me extract now blocks, the surfaces now. So because so far we're reading everything that this data set. So as you go here, I already have it there, but you can go here, you will have it extract block, and you select. So I will select internal mesh. I know it is the volume. I reselect this one, and I have it here also. So extract block, this shortcut, and I will extract the walls. Okay, so this is usually how I work. So see here that at the walls I don't have velocity. I will show you later a trick that we also will already did it, but okay, and then you have your pressure and so on. So let me put the color there. So basically what we want to do is create, let me hide that one, and let me put a plane there. Ignore the warning that you're going to see. We already mentioned that, well, that is my fault, that maybe I could improve. Now I should improve this mesh, but it doesn't matter, this is a warning. Okay, and it's related to that cell there, that it doesn't manage to interpolate the value, but it's not a big issue. Okay, so as you go and select here the crinkle slice, you see that problem is solved. So just a visualization issue. Okay, so we want to release a string from a line. We already visited on the previous case. That is very easy. You have here, you go filters, and you have it here, string tracer. So you have different options. We use the line option, but what I want to show you here is that, look at that here, you have sources, you have many sources, sphere, cons, whatever. I'm going to use a line source. And basically you get an idea what I'm trying to do. I want to now use this source to draw a line, and I want to release those strings from that line. But look at that, that line is not projected here. No, it's not perfectly matching with this plane. So how can we do it? So I will show you here those steps now. So this is a way not to do it, but let's say that honestly it's easier now to select. You press now P and you constrain it, but for some reason you cannot do that, or you want to do something else. This is an option. So what I need to do now, okay, so let me move it like this. So look at that, it's not perfect constraint. I want to project this line into this plane. Okay, so apply here, you have your line there. So basically there are many filters, so there is a filter to do that. So if I go here into filters, alphabetical, and it should be, oh my god, there are many of them. Okay, this one, slice alone polyline. Okay, so let me select this one, and look at that, it will ask you the data set. So I want to use my data set here. This is where I want to project, and polyline, this is the polyline that I want to use. Okay, apply. You can here, let me deselect the advanced option. You have the basic stuff. And there you go. So this is the line projected. Let me change there the color, and let me bring this size there, and let me put some colors there, and see that now we have that line perfectly projected there. So to remind you that this was the line that we were using and we projected there. So this is a cool, very cool. Okay, I do it a lot for some reason. Sometimes I need to do it. And look at what happened, that this is interactive. So if I go like this, it will project everything there. And now you have that line, and that in theory you can release from that line. But let me constrain it. So Let me put it here so I know it's releasing just from there. Okay, so hopefully you get the idea. And this this polyline now you can put complex in, so it's very nice, very useful. Okay, sometimes it depends what you're doing, trying to do. So you have it there. So now how do we release this Streamlines here? So mentioned previous video, we use the string tracer. Okay, now we need to use this one, but for some reason there are gray out. So there are gray out because now here you need to select, I want to release from this slice, and it has to be point data. You need to have your data there. So you select the plane, you go here, and now see that you have it available. This is the one you want to use. Be careful, many of these filters, some of these filters can take self-centered data, node-centered data, some of them exclusively take node-centered data. So to know that, and just to show you that trick, you can go filters now and you search for a filter, and let me use one that I know it use point data, resample. So you have this resample with dataset, and see that it will tell you sample data attribute at the points. You need, you know that you need point data, and then you can look for others and you will have there. So a string, so I'm using this one. So this is the one, the string tracer with custom, so it's not telling anything. So maybe no, it's general. So let's use this one. So input, slice, and sixers will be this one, the polyline we created. Apply. Okay, you don't see anything, but remember that here you have vectors, so you need to select the right one. So we don't have wall shear stresses in that plane. Select there, apply, and off you go. There you go, you have it. Remember, I deselected the advanced, you select the advanced, you have many options there. So feel free to play with those options, but in my case, okay, let me bring it back because I want here, this is the maximum length. Oh, let me increase that so it will go through the whole domain, or probably now. Okay, so I just have that, so there is no problem. Let me put the size there. And there you go. So these are the Streamlines that I released from that polyline that I just created. Now you get the point that you can apply the string tracer here. And let me do it now. Let's do. So this pipeline here will become a little bit complex. So, but hopefully now you have an idea how to do it. So look at that string tracer. So the string tracer, the one that we use. So look at that. What we did, so is you use this string tracer, now you have this problem that is not constrained to this plane. So what we did, you just did, it was use another filter to project that line. But here, let's use the P key, P here, or okay, let me go here, P here, and you have that line that you know will be constrained. Set it here, U, apply, and there you go. So now let me increase here to 10, so it will run through the whole domain, and that's it. Let me change color. There you go. And here, let me actually, I need to show you something else as well. Let me change the color so you know these are the ones coming from the inlet, and let me change the color here also so you know that this is coming from the inlet 2, inlet 1, inlet 2, and this is it. So now okay, so in this one that we just added, okay, remember that when you select the line, it's the string tracer, you can change the resolution here. So 1000 is like too much there in this case. You reduce it there. Recall that also you can put the arrowheads, the glyph, and so on to know the direction, and use tubes, and so on. And here you might ask, okay, but how do I control the resolution like we did with the string tracer? So the resolution is controlled from the baseline. So look at that, you have your baseline here, show line, and see that here you have resolution. So you can increase that resolution here, and that directly will increase also. Okay, in this case we don't see the change, but it will increase now the number of Streamlines released in this line there. Or let me hide that. Okay, it was the polyline here. Here you have the polyline. Okay, so this polyline, when you change the baseline, it will increase the points. Okay, so this is it. Okay, you have it there. Those two lines are constraints to this plane. Okay, so this is how I do it. So two different techniques. It is up to you. So I think this will answer now the question of how to constrain two planes. So now you can put different planes and so on. To mention something, that there is another filter here called evenly spaced, I think, or something like that. Space evenly, this one. So this should do that, but honestly, I don't manage to get it work because this one is quite picky, because the plane needs to be perfectly aligned with the XY, in this XY, and needs to be in 0. So it's tricky to get it work. So I don't use it. So the way I do it, how I show it, but just in case you're wondering, you have that one exclusively to constrain plane in XY. So usually you have 2D data will work. In 3D also will work, but yeah, you need to have that specific plane, and next to be perfectly in 0, and you need to have the search coordinate. It is tricky to get it working. Okay, so this is it. So thank you for your attention. Hope you enjoy. Hope you find it useful. And let's work a little bit in some other options, how to release the Streamlines and do some cool stuff with the Streamlines. So thank you. See you next time. Bye.